Hey guys, good morning. So today we will be doing a quick TA on NIO. I know it's been requested in an insane amount, so I figured right now I have time. I'm in the bathroom, so I figured I might as well start, doing the TA right now, right? Like for starters, I try to do it from scratch, just so everybody can actually like learn what's going on. I mean, I'm not too, I try not to be too fancy. I just try to be accurate with how I do my TA, right? So, as always, we basically start with setting up our price zones and our support resistance, basically, right? And the way that we do this is you guys see this candle right here, this wick. This is a candle. This is a wick right here, right? So this wick, and then wick right here. We're trying to set our prices, or we're trying to set our zones where the most candles actually touch. And because we're actually right now in the weekly chart, which is one of the more important price zones or price sections, support and resistance. I usually only do like on the daily chart. I usually set up my support and resistance based off of three or more candles coming around the same place. But if it's a weekly chart, I tend to use I tend to be more, what is it called, more loose with the price zones. And I set them even if 2 weeks are touching at the same time right now. So we can definitely see here that there's a bunch of candles touching. There's all these wicks. Sorry, not candles. There's all these wicks right here. Wick, and then the wick all the way over here, right? So we basically go here, and we try to get all these wicks together to touch. So I already know that 5620 is a huge point of resistance or support, right? So now we're basically going to be doing this thing all the way down. There's another one right here. So we're trying to touch this wick, possibly this wick, and then this wick right here, right? So we're trying to get all these together. And that's kind of perfect because it touches the top of that. Let me see. Now again, all the way down. Next wick is going to be here. We can see that there's a bunch of wicks on the left-hand side that are touching. So we're going to leave it right. We'll put it right there, right smack in the middle. And again, this is the weekly chart, so that means that resistance and support here are actually very important. Let me see if I can get these more over here. I'll put another one right here. Seems like that's a good spot to put it. Let me take away volume because this is kind of messing up my view of things, right? Almost done because we want to do it at least all the way down to where previous was. So there's more wicks touching. Let me see how many wicks. We'll do another one right there. And then our last one. Yeah, we'll do this one right here. Because it seems that seems to be the next one down. And then we'll do one more just to be safe. And we'll draw this one based off of these wicks over here, right? So the wicks over here are going to be the most touching, are going to be this wick and this wick, or this wick and this wick, right? So we'll do one right here at this $28.58 level, and then we'll just do our last line right here at the 26.50. So already you guys can see that there's a lot of support and resistance that NIO has been. So we know that it's been trading not necessarily sideways, but there's a lot of places where it can actually bounce or have certain spaces where it can consolidate back and forth, right? And then after this, we're really just looking at where it can actually bounce from here, right? So it does look like it created a floor down at 32.43. And the weekly chart is actually it's still looking pretty bearish as far as the weekly chart, but the day chart is looking like it's going to be bouncing up. Although I'm not 100% trusting it. We might actually be just, creating tops right here. I think the next big zone, if it might go up to, it's going to be $49. And then from there, it can possibly go back down. Because if you see on the MACD, why can I move this? Oh, there we go. So if you can see on the MACD, right, we crossed over here downwards towards the bullish side. We started our bullish run back here in January 21st, and then we tried crossing over to the bullish side here, and we actually didn't break it, right? We went right back to being bearish, and it's still bearish right now, right? So I think the next indication of us staying towards the downside is where this actually breaks. So I wouldn't actually get into, so it does look like the stochastic created solid bottoms right here, right? So it looks exactly like we created solid bottoms right at this $32 level. And you guys can see right here on the stochastic that we created bottoms, right? But the only way that I would actually, buy back into NIO is if we actually cross this on the daily chart to the bullish side, and then we keep riding up higher, right? I think the big indication is this $49 price zone that we actually cross above and close above, right? Same thing with the MACD on the 4-hour chart. We've been extremely bearish all the way down. So still bearish, still bearish, still bearish. It does look like we're creating some sort of bullish momentum right here. Would I be comfortable buying at these prices? Yeah, 100%. I think NIO right now is a solid buy at these prices, anywhere between, $32 and, 41 right now is a solid entry, especially if you're holding long term. I'd 100% be purchasing right now, just because I do think that NIO, I do like NIO the company, right? I like NIO. I think they're a great company. I definitely think they're gonna have a huge market share of the EV market. And I think as far as right now, if I was holding long term, I currently don't hold any NIO right now, but I do think if I were gonna buy anything, 100% I'd be buying right now. I think I would be buying NIO right now at these prices just to hold long term. Even on the month chart, right? We're still pretty. We're still. I don't want to say we're bullish, because we actually just created tops over here on the stochastic, but and we are trending down right now on the bearish side. So we do have to kind of see, especially with earnings coming up. When are earnings coming up? March 1st? Oh, they just had their earnings, right? They just had March 1st. Yeah, whatever. They just had the earnings. And it does look like, it didn't really affect them all that much. I mean, yeah, they trickled down, but it's because the whole market is actually going down right now. But if I had to actually buy right now, I mean, yeah, I would 100% buy. I mean, I do think anything right now in this price range is definitely a solid entry point, especially because, how far down are we from the tops, right? So from top to where we are now. So we'll do like where prices pre-market $44.07, $44 where pre-market is right now. So it's a 33% drop. So I mean, if you guys were to buy right now and then would have hit previous all-time highs, which I definitely think can possibly happen, you guys would be gaining about, a 33% gain, which is crazy because this we actually went down from peak highs to now in like 70 days, which is kind of nuts, right? To think about that, that it's been bearish for so long. So I do think as of right now, you guys would make about a 30% gain, right? If you guys were to buy in right now on NIO, and then kind of go from there, I think. But yeah, definitely, I think that you guys can see a solid, 30 to 50% gain, which within the the next 70 days, if the market corrects itself to the upside and everything starts running up again, right? So I do think long term, NIO has a really good shot at just kind of like shooting up. I think I did see that NIO actually has a gap somewhere. So let's go back a little bit, because that's the only thing that worried me. I think that's the only thing that worried me, because I know that NIO did have a gap, small gap. I think the gap's like right here. I think the gap's at $22 and like $24. I think there's a gap that still needs to get filled there. So there is a chance that it can go all the way back to like $22, because you guys do know that I am a big believer of gaps get filled, right? As of right now, sentiment still looks like it might be going down. So I do think that there is a chance that it'll go all the way back down to like $32. At that point, I'd say NIO is 100% guarantee buy, like especially if you're holding long term. That's an easy 100% gain to previous all-time highs. So I think I'll end the video there, just because I think that kind of gives off what I would do right now, right? Personally, myself, what I would do is, I think if you're holding long term, I do think that buying right now, and then if it keeps dropping to like $32, I think that's going to be the big floor. I don't think it's going to drop any further than that. So I do think if you're long term, buying right now all the way down to $32 is 100% like I do think it's going to reach all-time highs all over again. I don't have a doubt in my mind that it's going to go back up, right, eventually. But like I said, if you're holding long term, 100%, I think that's like a solid way to go, especially right now. And it actually just broke above the previous fractal breakout price, so we might actually be starting to get really bullish, but we'll see, right? We don't know. Long term, I think this NIO is fantastic. I think right now is a perfect buy if you're holding NIO long term. If you're looking at swing trading NIO, I'd probably wait to see a drop back down to like $32 before actually going in and purchasing some NIO. But long term, great time to buy. Swing trade, wait till around $32 if it actually hits that. Or if you're day trading, I don't know because I don't fucking day trade. But yeah, just letting you guys know, I think it's a solid time to buy long term. And again, swing trading, wait a little bit. NIO's fantastic. I do think they're gonna go back up to all-time highs. And I'll see you guys later.